Have you ever been deep in the woods, far from any sign of civilization, and felt a sudden, inexplicable chill? That feeling that you're not entirely alone? Well, today we're diving into a story that takes that primal fear and cranks it up to 11. This is the story of the search and rescue officer from Reddit. It all started on a subreddit called r or NoSleep, a place where people share fictional horror stories, but with one simple rule: everything is true, even if it's not. In 2015, a user named Search and Rescue Edwards began posting. He claimed to be a search and rescue officer for the US Forest Service, and he had some things he needed to get off his chest. Stories from deep in the wilderness that he couldn't explain, things that defied all logic. His posts weren't your typical ghost stories. They were written with the calm, procedural tone of a professional. He described the day-to-day realities of his job, the missing hikers, the treacherous terrain, the long hours, but woven into these realistic accounts were encounters with the truly bizarre. He talked about finding people who had vanished, only to reappear miles away, dazed and with no memory of what happened. He described children who would talk about a big man with a fuzzy face who told them to get lost. He shared chilling accounts of hearing his colleagues' voices calling to him from the wrong direction, trying to lure him off the path and deeper into the woods. The author's writing style was key to its success. It felt so incredibly authentic. He'd answer questions in the comments, never breaking character, offering practical advice on wilderness survival while casually mentioning the things you really needed to watch out for. This commitment to the role blurred the line between fiction and reality for thousands of readers. People weren't just reading a scary story. They were listening to a seasoned professional share his terrifying secrets. But out of all the strange phenomena he described, one element captured the internet's imagination like no other: the stairs. Imagine you're miles from any road, any ruin, any sign of human life. And there, in the middle of a pristine forest clearing, is a perfectly constructed staircase. Just a staircase, leading to absolutely nowhere. According to the author, these were a rare but terrifyingly real sight in the deep woods. He laid down a simple, chilling rule that became the series' most iconic line: never go near them. Don't touch them. Don't go up them. He never explained what the stairs were, where they came from, or what happened if you broke the rule, and that ambiguity is what made them so terrifying. They represented a complete break in the natural order of things, an intrusion of the man-made and the surreal into the wild. The stairs became a symbol for the entire series, a shorthand for the inexplicable horror lurking just beyond our understanding. The idea went viral, inspiring countless other stories, discussions, and even alleged real-life sightings. It tapped into our deep-seated fear of the unknown, the idea that there are places in the world where the rules of our reality simply don't apply. The series grew, post by post, building a complex and unsettling mythology. The author introduced other SAR officers, each with their own strange stories. They talked about feral people who seemed not quite human, living in the deepest parts of the national parks. They discussed a strange sense of wrongness they would sometimes feel in certain areas of the forest, a palpable pressure in the air that told them to turn back immediately. These weren't monsters you could see or fight. They were subtle, psychological horrors that preyed on the isolation and vulnerability of being alone in the vast wilderness. The brilliance of the SAR officer stories lies in how they use the familiar to create fear. We all know what a forest is, we know what a staircase is, but by placing a staircase where it absolutely should not be, the story shatters our sense of a predictable world. It suggests that the wilderness isn't just empty. It's filled with things that operate on a logic we can't comprehend. The series became one of the most influential and famous works of internet horror ever created. Like the Slender Man or the Goatman legends, it proved that a well-told story, presented with unwavering conviction, could feel just as real and terrifying as any true account. It created an entire subgenre of woods horror that continues to thrive today. The author, Search and Rescue Edwards, eventually stopped posting, leaving the mystery of the stairs and the other strange occurrences hanging in the air forever. His silence only added to the legend. Did he see too much? Did he finally break one of his own rules? The legacy of these posts is a powerful reminder of the power of storytelling. In an age of information, where we think we have the world mapped and explained, the SAR officer stories remind us that there are still dark spots on the map. They reignited a primal fear of the wilderness, not as a place of bears or mountain lions, but as a place of profound, ancient mystery. A place where you might hear a familiar voice call your name from the shadows, or where you might stumble upon a perfectly constructed staircase that leads to nowhere, and you'll remember the officer's warning, a whisper from the depths of the internet, don't go up them, so the next time you're out for a hike and you see something that just doesn't belong, maybe think twice. Because according to Search and Squidwards, you never know what's really watching from between the trees. Thanks so much for hanging out and exploring this incredible piece of internet lore with me. If you enjoyed this dive into the unexplained, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the strangest stories the web has to offer. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had a creepy experience in the woods. Stay safe out there and see you in the next video.